Hello Stampers, happy Tuesday. This is Barb Reed, finally back from all of my busyness. In August, we had a trip overseas and we also had a trip to college to drop off Hannah. So now we're home and things are getting back to normal slightly. I will be starting some tutoring, but things are back to normal as it gets here at the Reed. So today I'm excited to share with you a great project to help you use up some of that free designer series paper you got. So let me show you what I'm going to be using this evening. Hello, Hello, Jean. Hi, how are you? I'm going to be using the Wonderful World stamp set and paper. This was one of the freebies we got for celebration, but of course you can use this with any 12 by 12 that you have. I just happen to have a lot of this, and the Rings of Love, you might have that one as well because of getting freebies with your purchases during celebration. So I thought, oh my goodness, all this paper, let me give my stampers some great ideas on how to use this paper. All right, well, let me give you a heads up here on what we're going to be making. We're going to be making this cute little note card pouch. Okay, and it's going to be closed with a ribbon. And we're going to open up the pouch, and inside we're going to have 4 cards with envelopes. There's one, and then we use a bit of the designer series paper here on the envelope, and then I stamp a flower on the other side, and we made 4 of these cards. Okay, now this pouch can hold at least 6, but I wanted to show you how to do this because it uses only 2 pieces of your DSP. All right, so you can make loads and loads of these cute little card sets and get these ready for little gifts that you might want to give to friends and coworkers. And then I did to close it up was use the ribbon, and then I used a 5th one of the little die cuts for my tag on the front. So super easy to make, very pretty. Your friend or coworker will love this one. And who doesn't need thank you notes? This would be a great one for a teacher's gift as well. So, all right, now this is the Wonderful World paper. Now I've already used this fabulous 2 sheets of this, but this has wonderful, beautiful paper in it. Just love this paper. And here's some more. Look how beautiful that is. So nice. If you love flowers, this is your pack. And then here's another. The colors here are Flirty Flamingo and Mossy Meadow. And we have a little bit of the Orchid Oasis. So lots of gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Let me look on here to make sure I'm giving you all the names. Let's see. Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow, Orchid Oasis, Pear Pizzazz, Rich Razzleberry, Sahara Sand, Starry Night. Woo! Lots and lots of colors. So when you make your card bases, you want to look at the back of your paper, and that is going to give you an idea of what color card bases you want to use. Now I've decided to go ahead and I am going to use this paper tonight. I love this one. So pretty. And I decided that I'm going to use my Pear Pizzazz paper for my card bases. All right, so before we get to that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut our paper. Now we're going to put one aside because that's we're going to use to make the pouch. So we're going to start first with the paper for the cards. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut your 12 by 12 into 4 6 by 6 squares. So I'm going to stick it in here in my trimmer. I'm going to cut it at 6 first. That's my scorer. That's not going to help me much. Put that down here. All right, so I'm going to cut it in half. Okay, and then I'm just going to layer on top of each other and turn, and I'm going to cut it again at 6. All right, so now we've got 4 6 by 6 pieces. Okay, so each one of these pieces is going to be the designer series paper we need to make the cards. All right, now I'm going to show you how you will be cutting this 6 by 6 paper. Now this little template here is also on my blog, on my PDF. So don't worry if you don't get it. You can always take a look at it afterwards. Okay, this shows how I'm going to cut my paper. First, I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch strip off the bottom of each sheet. Then I'm going to cut at 4 and 5.5. Okay, so let me show you how that's going to look. And I'm just going to leave them all stacked together. I think we can do all 4 sheets. Let's see if we can do that. Now, if you do have an orientation on your paper, you want to make sure that you're cutting off the bottom section of the cardstock first. I mean, the DSP first. So I'm going to line it up here with a 3/4 inch, all 4 stacked together, and I'm just going to go right through. Okay, so now I have 4 of these 3/4 inch strips. These are going to go on our envelopes. Okay, so let's put those aside for now. Then we're going to take this stack that we still have left, and now it is only 5 1/4 inches instead of 6. So that's going to make it easy for us to make our card fronts. We're going to cut first at 4. There are our 4 card fronts. Then we're going to cut at 1.5. And that is going to leave us with a 1/2 inch strip. And that's going to go on the inside of our cards. I'll show you how that's going to go. All right, we're going to take that away. Now we're going to grab our pieces that are going to be our card bases. These are cut at 5.5 by 6, and they are scored at 1 3/4. Okay, all this information is on the PDF, okay, and this will be available after my presentation tonight. All right, so we got 5.5 by 6 scored on the 6 inch side at 1 3/4. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and take my bone folder and fold over. Okay, I used this project design a little while back just to show you how to make a card using a 6 by 6 sheet. And then I thought, well, wow, now I can make four cards for my pouch if I use a 12 by 12 sheet. So this is what we have so far. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our inserts. Okay, these are the basic white inserts, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to grab my glue, and I'm going to put that directly on the inside first. Okay, and that's going to go like that. Okay, and you just line it up, make sure you have your nice border all the way around. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to grab one of those 4 by 5 1/4 that we cut, and you're going to lay it directly down right on top of that insert piece that you just put down. Then you're going to go over here and carefully put a little bit of glue. You don't want to get too close to the top or the bottom. And you're going to just fold it over on top of that DSP. And this piece of DSP is going to act as part of our card front. Okay, So I'm going to pick this up. And now that is our card front right there. Okay. Next piece we're going to bring in is that tiny little 1/2-inch piece. Okay. That is going to go right here along the edge of our insert. So let me take a little glue there. That's going to go right there. Okay. Now I'm going to close it up and we're going to take one of these. This is 1.5 inches. Now you can put it like that if you want, but what's so cool about Stampin' Up! Paper is you can turn it over and then you have a gorgeous coordinating pattern. So I'm going to do that. I really love that. That looks wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and I believe that's rich raspberry there. That really looks beautiful there along the edge. So there is my card. Okay, that's my card base with the Designer Series paper on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put together the other 4 of the cards real quickly. Okay, so we'll go over it again. I'm going to do each step together. So we're going to first put on our 4 by 5.25 inch piece of Whisper white paper. Oh, I'm sorry, basic white paper on the last 3 card bases. And this is going to help be a guide for when we go ahead and put our front piece in. All right, now, since we've cut up these 4 by 5.25, we have 3 of those left. So we're going to go ahead, let me turn these here. Going to go ahead and place that down just like that. Don't want to be out of the picture here. And I'm going to cover that piece of basic white with my DSP. Just hold it there with my hand, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glue right along that edge. Fold that over and push that down. And now you have that hinge all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and finish these now. You're going to take your 1/2-inch piece. You can see how easy this is. This goes together very quickly. You could put together a set of cards and a pouch really, really quickly. Then we have our 1.5-inch piece, which we're going to flip over and put on the left side of the card front, right on the hinge. And I just love how that fits perfectly there. And we have our lovely pear pizzazz going around the edge there. There's another. Okay, let's grab our 3rd one. Same thing. We're going to lay this in like that. We're going to put a little glue on the inside of our hinge. We're going to close it up. Open it back up. We're going to take our little 1/2-inch piece. This was kind of the last piece that was cut off. And that's going to go right here along the edge. You know, you could probably put it along the right-hand side as well. It would look wonderful that way too. All right. Okay. And now the last step for this part is we're going to take our 1.5-inch strip and put it down there. One more to go. I'm sure you got the idea now. Okay, we have our insert. Here comes our 4-inch panel. We're going to put a little bit of glue in there. Fold that down. Come in with our 1/2-inch piece. Everybody getting the idea? How many of you have some of this free paper and are ready to use it? Just doing it this way, you'd be able to make 6 of these gifts. So it's a great way to use up the paper with hardly any other product. Just a little bit of cardstock. All right, so now we have all 4 of our card bases completed. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and make the cute little die cuts. Now you can check out what you have in your stash. Find a punch or a die that you like to make labels. This is Label Me Lovely. I like this one. Now I am going to make 5 of these because I'm going to put them on my cards, and then I need one for a tag on the little pouch. All right, so what I'm going to use is one of the flowers. Okay, and I'm going to bring in some Flirty Flamingo because that was one of the colors they talked about on the back. And I'm going to ink up the flower image. Let me show you that right there. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to do that with all 5 of these. So a stamp off, and then in the middle. Okay. Very simple, but very elegant looking. All right, so those are our 5 flowers. Okay, let's put that. And then I'm going to take some Starry Night, which is a color I like to use a lot now instead of the black or the navy. And I'm going to use a thank you here. Now, our stamp set did not have any sentiment, so you're going to have to find a set that you have in your stash with the sentiment you're looking for. I'm going to do thank you notes. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to stamp thank you over top of the flower. Very simple. Love this color. There we go. All right, there we go. All done our stamping. Okay, to finish off our cards now, we're going to go ahead and bring them back in. I'm going to take one and put it to the side for the pouch. And I'm going to go ahead and put our labels or die cuts, whatever you decided to do, and put it down here in the right-hand corner. Look how pretty that is. Really pretty. All right, now let's do that with the other 4. Turn them over. Let's get 2 dimensionals. This is kind of like something you could do, making all 4 of them at the same time and really get through your work quickly. All right, let's go ahead and put one on our second card here. Okay. Third card. So this is finishing up our note cards. And last one here. Okay, there you have it. Now, I have 4 envelopes here. Now, I'm not going to do all of this because I don't want to get too long here, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what you can do with your envelopes. Now, I would do this with all 4, but I don't want you to fall asleep on the other side. So I'm going to take that one that we cut off initially, the 3/4 inch piece from the bottom, okay? And I'm going to put some glue on the back, being careful not to go all the way to the end here because we're going to be cutting off a slight bit of it. So I'm going to put that along the bottom of my envelope. I'm going to turn that over and just snip off that tiny little piece. That's the only bit that we didn't use for our project today. That's pretty good, isn't it? That is using your paper wisely. All right, the last thing I would do is I would turn the envelope over and take my beautiful flower again and just stamp that right up here on the flap of the envelope, just like that. And you can do that with all 4 of your envelopes, but I'm not going to do that just for sake of time. Okay, so those are your 4 envelopes and 4 cards. How quick that came together. Now, who's ready to make our very cool pouch? All right, let's bring in our other piece of coordinating paper. Now, you don't have to use the same paper, but I just like it that way. All these papers coordinate, so you can use, a different one if you want to for the pouch. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our scoring board. Gonna go over here and get my scoring board. Just have it quite close enough. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, these scoring directions are also on the PDF, so don't worry about that. You don't need to jot anything down. Okay, let me get them here so I know what I'm doing. Okay, for the card holder, here we go. All right, so we have the paper, and you notice I have it in the direction that I want it to be. So my design is from top to bottom. Here's the top of my design, the bottom of my design. So you want to make sure that you are aware of the orientation of the paper, if your paper has orientation. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to score at 3 and 9. Okay, then I'm going to turn my paper counterclockwise so that the top of my paper is now on the left-hand side here. Okay, and I'm going to then score at 4.5, 5.5, 10, and 10.5. That's it. All right, let's put the scoring board away. Let's get out our bone folder and do a little bit of folding and creasing. Sometimes the score lines can be a little bit hard to see, so I recommend you turn it over to the more neutral side, and you can usually see them better because the paper's not quite as busy. So that has helped me when I try to find my scoring lines and I can't see them, besides me probably having to put on some reading glasses. You can always take a look from the other side and it shows up a lot better. Okay, let me get these two and then we'll be done. Okay, so there were a total of 5 score lines to crease after scoring. All right, so now we are ready to make our pouch. Now, first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to want to turn your paper upside down. Okay, if you notice, this way is right side up. Okay, so now we're going to turn it upside down, and you'll notice up here at the top, you have a much wider end here at the bottom, and then you have a thinner end up here. You have a really skinny panel there and a little bit larger panel. Okay, we're going to cut these corner panels off. Okay, so let me get my scissors and I'm going to turn the paper over because it's easier to see this way for everyone. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a pen here so you can see what I'm going to be cutting. Okay, I'm going to cut off this piece here, this tiny little strip, and this larger piece here on both sides. So the skinny one and the larger one. Okay, so those are going to be getting cut off. Let me show you where I'm squiggling there. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to take my snips and cut off these 2 sections here, and I'm going to cut off these 2 sections here. Okay, so what we created here is our flap that's going to come down over the front of our box. Okay, now it's time to make the gusset or the pocket inside the pouch. Let me get my other one out here so I can show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to take the cards out. So here you can see the pocket that I made inside here. And it's not hard at all. It's a really fun little project. And it just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of visualization. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the right side of my pouch, and I am going to go ahead and fold it over. Okay, now this is where it gets a little tricky. I'm going to be focusing here on the bottom line. You have two score lines here. Okay, I'm going to focus on the bottom score line, and where the score line meets the side here, I'm going to put my fingernail. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line up this score line with the side of this paper. Watch how that goes. I'm going to just take it over. I'll pick it up so you can see. I'm taking this score line here and I'm matching it right along the edge of the paper. Okay, so let me show you again. I'm going to stick my finger here and I'm going to turn and make sure that that score line matches right up with the edge of the paper. And when I feel like it's at a great spot there, I'm going to go ahead and crease right here and give it a good bone folder crease too. All right, so that is going to be creating your diagonals. Okay, I'm going to do it 3 more times so you can see how that goes. Okay, let's go to the top now. Okay, I'm going to just turn it upside down so it's basically going to be the same thing. So we have this here. Okay, I'm going to put my finger, let's turn it the other way, and we're going to, let's do the bottom one here first. Okay, so we're looking at this the same angle. All right, so we're going to take this bottom again, doing the bottom again so you can see it. I'm going to put my finger right here where the score line meets the side score here, and I'm going to turn it so that that score line lines right up with the side score, the side fold there. And when I think it is in a good spot, I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder and do a little bit of creasing there. So there we have our first 2 for the pocket. Everybody understanding that? I hope so. It takes a little bit of practice, but I'm sure you'll figure it out quickly. All right, now we're going to do the top. So now we're going to focus on the other line. Okay, here when we had it the other way, we were focusing on this score line. Now we're going to focus on this one here. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to put my finger right at the edge there and move this paper so that this score line matches up with the edge. Okay, just like that. When it's matched up, I'm going to grab my bone folder and crease that down. Okay, last one. Okay, we're going to focus on the bottom score line again. Gonna pick it up, put my finger there, turn it so that that score line is lining right up with the edge of the paper, that folded line. Then I'm going to press down and make that a folded line there. All right, so we've done it, okay? So what you're gonna create is that little gusset in the center. So let me show you how to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, so let's open this back up and you'll see that you have a triangular part here and a triangle sections here and then a triangular part here. So we're gonna put some glue, but we're only gonna glue from this line and up and this line and down. Watch what I do. I'll grab my glue You want to make sure that you're gluing down the right portions. Okay, so you see this line here, that is the diagonal that you created. You're going to take your glue and just put a nice thin layer above that diagonal, and then here is the other diagonal here. We're going to do the same thing, putting a nice thin layer below. Okay, then we're going to close it and push down. And let's do the same with the other. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a nice thin layer of glue above the diagonal and then below this diagonal. Okay, then we're going to close her up and rub so it stays. Now look what you've created. That you bring it up and you're creating that little gusset to put your cards in. Everybody see how that works? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I noticed that these aren't quite down. You might want to take your bone folder and push down on the areas here that you put the glue, just so they're all down flat and they won't interfere with the gusset there. Okay, I think we're in good shape now. So now watch when I close it up, it's going to create that little gusset there. Isn't that cool? All right, let's put our cards in here. I have all my cards here and my envelopes, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, and I'm going to place my cards right in there. See how that works on the side there? And then I'm just going to fold this over so that little 1/2 inch score there that we made is a nice little hinge to close the beautiful pouch. Isn't that just adorable? All right, let's go ahead and finish up. The last thing we have to do is just put the bow on. So here is my thank you, the one I had left, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a hole in the side of my thank you tag. Then I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow. This is something I found in my stash that matches gorgeously. Gonna cut off a nice big slice. And I'm going to wrap it around my new gorgeous pouch. Hoping that I'm keeping it nice and flat on the other side. Okay, then you want to do an over-under. And then you want to go ahead and thread your tag right onto the ribbon. And slide it all the way down to the center where your over-under is. And then you're going to tie your bow. And you want to do a little bit of zhooshing so that your bow looks fantastic, of course. Just keep pulling your tails and your ears till you have it the way you like. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors one more time. I'm going to cut off the ends of my ribbon. And there you go. There is my pouch. Isn't that fun? And that was made just using 2 of those 6x6 pieces of free designer series paper. So let me know what you think. Give it a try. And if you make a project, go ahead and post it on my VIP page. So next week, I'm going to come up with some more great ideas for using the 12x12 free paper. But this is a great one for, I think of teachers. Teachers always need thank you notes, and this is a great gift for a teacher. They always get little gifts and need to have thank you notes around to send home. So this would be a great thing to send in with your students the first day, and your teachers will love it. I know they will. So I will see you next week on Tuesday. I'm glad to be back and getting back into my routine again. And of course, we have our first Christmas card event this weekend. So if you prepaid for that, I hope to see you, or you can come pick up your kit starting tomorrow. Now, let me show you what we have for next month. Next month's suite is called Sweet Christmas, and you'll be making 15 cards in this kit using the Sweet Christmas suite. So we've got a lot of really great candy canes in this one. So here's one of the cards, and here's one of the cards. The designer series paper for this is wonderful, and you can just use the die cuts to cut out all those cute little candy canes. This might be my favorite one. This one uses two of the new in colors. It's the Parakeet Party and the Sweet Sorbet. That is just really, really cute. And then here is the other. Okay, this one uses some of the paper panels in the back there. So that you'll be making 15, and you will receive a half a pack of the designer series paper, a pack of the glimmer paper, as well as some other goodies, all for $25. So if you are interested in that, I will be posting a event starting Saturday that you can sign up for, or you can just email me or text me. So I hope you can have a great week and have some time to get creative. Jean, I can send you a to-go kit if you like some of the Christmas cards. Just let me know. I make a video and I send you a link, and then you can put them together at your convenience. So let me know. I have a group of people that I always have to send their kits to, so that is not a big deal. So thank you for joining me for a kind of a long Facebook Live this evening. So great to be back and great to see you. And don't forget to keep on stamping. Bye now.